is perfection killing your future? Welcome to Coffee Rants. I'm John Driscoll, and if you have not liked or subscribed, I really would appreciate you doing that now. We're really trying to grow the channel, spending a lot of time and effort to do so, and your support would be great. So if you like what you're hearing, please do that. So I'm actually a recovering perfectionist. I say that because I still am kind of a perfectionist in my personal life. I think there's a difference, and I'm not a doctor or anything, but there's a big difference between OCD and perfectionism. Perfectionism has a lot to do with us needing things to be perfect in order to really expose ourselves to criticism. I would say that's the best definition of mine. So at least in my experience in business, this is a real problem. And the reason why is because things will never be perfect. It just simply is that way. And what happens with perfectionism in business is you kind of stunt your growth, because if you can't do something that doesn't feel perfect for you, what ends up happening is you won't ever expose yourself to the market or anything like that. So let's just say, for example, you're trying to do YouTube videos on the internet. Well, I know a lot of people would like to start a channel or Instagram or something like that, and they think about doing videos, and they want to go out and buy all the cool stuff, and they want to have a script, and they want everything to be perfect. And what ends up happening in that process is you often never make any videos that you actually put out on the internet. You end up in this perpetual fixing before you show it to anybody. One of the greatest quotes on this is by Reid Hoffman, and that is, if you're not embarrassed by the first version, you waited too long to ship it. So essentially, if you're not embarrassed a little bit by your product or your content or something that you're doing and exposing yourself to the market, if you're not a little embarrassed, then you kind of waited too long. You probably were playing perfect a lot. And the reasoning, I think, behind this makes sense. You justify to yourself that I don't want it to be unsuccessful, and I don't want to put anything out there that is imperfect. But unfortunately, you'll never know if it's perfect or if it's any good until you actually expose it to the market. I've actually shipped things to the market, apps and things like that I didn't personally like, but the market loved them. And it really doesn't matter if I like it. It really matters how the market feels about it. So until you open yourself up to criticism, you'll never actually get feedback to improve it. I love Dan Sullivan's solution to this, and he calls it the 80% rule. And the idea is this: if you can just get 80% good with something that you're doing, and then expose yourself to the market, then the market will give you feedback. And then you have another step of 80%, which puts you at 96% complete or good. So in just 2 steps, you've got all the way to 96% there. And I think that's a great way to think about it. Obviously, nobody knows exactly when you're at 80% or not. It's more your own judgment. But at the same time, being realistic of how perfect this thing has to be before you expose yourself to the market is a great place to start. And then what ends up happening is you get to grow through the process of creating things. And I can tell you from experience, that is the best way to grow, is let the market give you the feedback and do it in steps of growth. It's kind of along the lines of a video that I also published, and that is, taking the elevator or the stairs. And it's the same concept. Is there are steps to growth, steps to getting better, not one step. And this is kind of me saying the same thing by saying you can't be a perfectionist. It's going to really hurt you. And I actually think a lot of people are preventing themselves from a wonderful future of something very, very meaningful in their lives because they're afraid to expose something that they deem unperfect. So I hope some of you got something out of this. Please let me know in the comments. I'd appreciate some of your thoughts on how you've overcome perfectionism and how we can all get out to a better future. So thank you for joining me with Coffee Rants. This is John Driscoll. Have a great day.